Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is late Thursday night. The house is completely quiet, but my brain is absolutely racing, and I just need to get all these thoughts out before I explode. Grab a coffee or something because we need to talk about the absolute tragedy that just went down. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and it is literally keeping me awake. Like I am staring at my screen right now, just replaying that entire Windmere sequence in my head, and I just can't shake it. The whole thing. With Danny Morgan and Charlotte Cassadine sneaking back into that castle. Here's what's bugging me. Why did they have to go to Windmere specifically to decode that mysterious message on her phone? I mean, I get that Windmere is isolated and maybe they thought nobody would bother them there, but still. It's Windmere. Nothing good ever happens at Windermere. Have they not learned anything from the literal decades of Cassadine history? Wait, let me back up. Actually, no. First, I should mention Danny's whole mental state leading up to this, because you can't really understand the sheer horror of what just happened without looking at where his head has been at. Danny has been so fixated on Jen Sidwell, right? He's been trying to align himself with Sonny Corinthos' mob, trying to be this tough guy, basically trying to be Jason Morgan, too. He's been walking around with this false sense of invincibility. Like, he genuinely thinks he can handle the criminal underworld. And Charlotte, she's been right there. With him, surviving all these chaotic Windmere break-ins. They survived the last one, so I guess they thought they were untouchable. I think it was episode 12 or 13, somewhere around there, where they established that Danny is taking the lead on all this reckless behavior. So, they go back to the island. They are standing in the dark looking at her phone trying to figure out this mysterious text message. And probably doesn't matter, but I noticed the way the lighting was set up in that scene. It was all shadows. A very classic Gothic soap opera aesthetic, which usually means someone is hiding. And of course, someone was Ross Cullum. Okay, wait. Let me backtrack again, because Cullum being there is a whole other rabbit hole. Cullum is completely unhinged right now. He has this wildly wrong hunch that Danny Jason's son was the one who shot him, which we all know is ridiculous because Rocco is the one with the whole shooting secret. But Cullum's brain is just broken. He's paranoid. He's been wandering around General Hospital taunting Jack Brennan. He's been looking for Rocco, but his ultimate fixation shifted to Danny. Basically, Cullum convinced himself that Jason Morgan's kid is a lethal threat. So he's just waiting in the dark at Windmere like a literal horror movie villain, just waiting in the shadows. It's weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird. Why was Cullum specifically waiting at Windmere? Did he track Charlotte's phone? Did he know about the mysterious message they were trying to decode? Or maybe he just figured Danny would return to the scene of his previous break-ins. I don't know. The show didn't fully explain his logistics yet, but honestly, it doesn't even matter because the execution of the scene was just terrifying. So they are looking at the phone, the screen is glowing in the dark, and then Cullum just lunges out of the blackness. He ambushes them. The scuffle that breaks out is so chaotic. I was rewinding it over and over trying to catch the choreography. It looked like Cullum went straight for Danny, grabbing him, shoving him back. Danny's a tough kid. He's been trying to act like a mob enforcer, but Cullum is a grown man with a vendetta and police training. Or wait, is Cullum still technically operating with police resources? I mean, not exactly, but kind of. He has access to stuff. Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh, right. The gun. The scuffle escalates so fast. 1 second they are wrestling in the dark, and the next second Cullum pulls his weapon. He doesn't even hesitate. He aims directly at Danny. You can see it in his eyes, the absolute murderous intent. Cullum fully believed he was taking out the kid who shot him. He pulls the trigger. And then Charlotte. Oh my God, Charlotte Cassadine. I know I just said the opposite earlier about them acting like invincible kids, but hear me out. What Charlotte did was pure instinctual sacrifice. She didn't even think. She just threw herself in front of Danny. She took the bullet. It wasn't like a slow-motion dramatic leap. It was a desperate, violent lurch into the line of fire. The gunshot echoed through that massive, empty living room. The same room where Sidwell shot Henry Dalton, by the way, which is just a horrific parallel of violence in that house. Why did she do it? Like, psychologically speaking, Charlotte has always been this complex character raised by Valentine, dealing with all the casting darkness. But her bond with Danny, it was so pure compared. Everything else in her life. She saw the gun. She saw the boy she cared about most in the world about to die. And her survival instinct just shut off. Or maybe it didn't shut off. Maybe it just transferred to him. I don't know, it's so tragic. The immediate aftermath is what is truly destroying me. The way Danny caught her. They collapsed onto the floor together, and the blood, there was so much blood so fast. Danny is holding her. His hands are covered in it and he's just screaming. The audio design in this scene was devastating. You could hear his voice cracking this raw, guttural scream of absolute despair. He's begging her to hold on, pressing his hands against her chest, but you can see her breathing getting shallower. The life is literally draining out of her right there on the Cassadine rug. And Cullum panics, which okay, I know I just said he had murderous intent. But I think seeing a teenage girl take the bullet completely shattered whatever twisted justification he had in his. He didn't want to kill Charlotte. He wanted Danny. Seeing her bleeding out, hearing Di's agonizing screams, Cullum just breaks. He backs away. His hands are shaking and he just turns and flees into the night. He runs away like a coward, leaving this traumatized kid holding a dying girl. Danny is screaming for help, but they are on Spoon Island. Nobody is coming. That's the cruelest part of Windair. It isolates you. It traps you. Danny is completely alone with the consequences of his actions. And as Charlotte's breath finally stops as she just goes limp in his arms, you can literally see something inside Danny's snap. This is going to destroy him completely and utterly. Danny is already a brooding kid. He already has that dark Morgan DNA, but this is going to plunge him into a level of depression, and you would say like this deep, dark melancholy that I don't think he can ever recover from. He is going to blame himself for the rest of his life, and honestly, he kind of is to blame. I mean, not entirely. Cullen pulled the trigger, but Danny is the one who has been pushing this reckless agenda. Danny is the one who wanted to play mobster. Danny is the one who kept dragging them back into dangerous situations. It was his curiosity and his recklessness that led them to Windermere tonight to decode that stupid message. Speaking of the message, what even was it? Was it worth her life? Probably not. It never is. It was probably some vague clue about Sidwell or Valentin or Brennan. But now, it's just the thing that got Charlotte killed. I keep thinking about how Danny is going to look at that phone now. It's a literal murder weapon in a way. But the worst part, the part that is making me physically anxious just typing this, is that Danny has to go back to the mainland and tell everyone he has to report this. He has to walk into a room covered in Charlotte's blood and break the news. Think about Laura Collins. Laura is already dealing with so much right now. She's dealing with the Sidwell blackmail. She's dealing with Ezra Bowles' confession. She's dealing with Lulu and Rocco going on the run with Britt. Lulu literally just asked Laura to look after Charlotte because Lulu couldn't take her. Laura promised to protect her. And now Danny has to tell his grandmother that Charlotte is dead. Laura is going to shatter. And Valentin, oh my God, Valentin Cassadine. Valentine is currently wrapped up in this whole messy affair with Carly trying to outmaneuver Jack Brennan, trying to get Nina to help him. He's distracted. He's playing spy games. And while he's busy playing games, his daughter, his entire world, the only pure thing in his life, just bled to death on the floor of his family's ancestral home. When Valentine finds out that Jason Morgan's son led his daughter into an ambush, the wrath of Valentine Cassadine is going to be biblical. He is going to want Danny dead. He is going to want Cullum dead. He might even blame Sonny, since Danny was trying to act like Sonny's enforcer. This is going to start a massive war. And what about Alexis? Alexis just found out from Rick Lansing that Danny was trying to align with the mob, and she was already alarmed. Now her grandson is going to be a traumatized, guilt-ridden shell of a human being. The psychological damage here is just it's too much. Danny is going to be consumed by regret. He couldn't protect the girl he cared about most. It's the ultimate Jason Morgan curse, isn't it? Jason could never truly protect the woman he loved, whether it was Robin or Sam or Courtney. And now Danny has inherited that exact same tragic flaw. He tried to be a tough guy and it cost him everything. I keep replaying the moment she jumped in front of him. It's so fast. 1 second they are just kids playing detective with a cell phone, and the next second it's a murder scene. The transition from teen adventure to absolute nightmare was so jarring. I think the writers did that on purpose to show how fast the criminal world can turn on you. Danny thought he was playing a game. Cullum wasn't playing. And where does Cullum go now? He's a cop or an ex-cop or whatever his official status is right now, and he just murdered a Cassadine heir. He is a dead man walking. If Valentine doesn't get him, Sonny will, because Sonny will want to protect Danny from the fallout. But then again, maybe Cullum will use his connections like Detective Joe Fitzpatrick to cover it up. Or maybe he'll try to frame Danny for it. Oh God, what if Cullum claims Danny shot during a Struggle, that would be the ultimate twist of the knife. Colum is unhinged enough to try and spin this to save himself. But Danny knows the truth. Danny will always know the truth. He will see her dying face every time he closes his eyes. He's going to be so deeply depressed. I don't know how the writers pull him out of this. You don't just go to therapy and get over holding your best friend as she bleeds out because she took a bullet meant for you. That is foundational, life-altering. Trauma, he's going to become so dark. We might actually see him fully embrace the mob life now. Not out of excitement, but out of a suicidal need to punish himself. Or maybe he goes the opposite way and completely shuts down. I don't know. It's just so sad. Charlotte had so much potential as a character. She was the bridge between the Spencers, the Cassadines, the WSB drama, and now she's just gone because of a mysterious text message and a paranoid man with a gun. Okay, my brain is officially fried.